of reviews actually say that Alaikadal happens to be the best song of the album. And for the past 2.5 years, I've been singing scratches for Rahman sir. I was so sure that this was not going to get finalized. A week prior to that, I get a call from the studio saying, Antara, remember there was this song you sang 2 years back that's gotten confirmed for this film. Ratnam film is one of the biggest releases of this year, and I'm like, am I really going to hear myself in a movie? I'm so excited for the 30th.
Antara, firstly, congrats on the debut. Such a wonderful first song to have sung to begin your playback career.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
What are the kind of feedback that you're getting?
So far, it's been overwhelming, to be honest. A couple of reviews actually say that Alaikadal happens to be the best song of the album, and it gives me butterflies reading all those reviews. I've been getting so many DMs from people who've been following me since my initial days, since the time I started posting on social media. And they're writing such heartwarming messages saying, this feels like a personal success. It feels like a personal victory. So reading all that, it really feels amazing.
So how did this song happen? Can you take us back and tell this journey?
Yeah, sure. So for the past 2.5 years, I've been singing scratches for Rahman sir. So just to give you a little background, what a scratch is. After a song is made, somebody is made to sing a rough structure of it before the final singer comes and sings it. And most of the time what happens is at least 3 to 4 scratches are made before a final version of the song is made. And every scratch is better than the previous one. So now, 2.5 years back, when I sang Alaikadal, the Tamil version, it was the first scratch. And that night, I remember I was in Chennai for a couple of days, and we were trying to finish up as many scratches as possible. So that particular night, I had been up dubbing a lot of other scratches. So among them, was Alaikadal. Now, what happened is, as far as I remember, I was so sure that this was not going to get finalized. I actually finished dubbing the song in 40 minutes and I came out of the studio. So what usually happens is, on an average, one takes 2 to 2.5 hours to dub a song. And I finished dubbing the song within 40 minutes. And Tamil is a language I don't know or understand. But I just sang it somehow and I came out. And there was a sound engineer sitting right outside the studio, and he's like, you really just wrap up a song within 40 minutes and in a language you don't know? I said, yeah, it's not going to stay anyway. So that's how it happened, to be honest. Now, 2 years later, so the audio launch of PS happened on the 6th of September.
Mm-hmm.
1 week prior to that, I get a call from the studio saying, Antara, remember there was this song you sang 2 years back that's gotten confirmed for this film. So my first reaction was, what? A song in a movie in my voice? What? And then they told me, yeah, it's a Ratnam film. It's one of the biggest releases of this year. And I'm like, okay, that's just too much information to wrap my head around. I got another call from the studio saying, Antara, you need to drive down to Bombay. We are recording the other 3 versions of the song in your voice. It was way more than a dream. It was insane. And I still feel it just hasn't settled in yet. I still feel like, has it really happened? Am I really going to hear myself in a movie? I'm so excited for the 30th. No, I didn't get to ask him that. Although I actually yesterday itself, I emailed Sir saying, Sir, Sir's been the one who's given me the biggest milestones of my life thus far. So I just had to write him that email. I told him, Sir, this is the best way I could possibly step foot into the industry. And thank you for choosing me for a song of this cadre. I couldn't have ever imagined. And the last line was, Sir, if you have any more scratches, I'm right here. And Sir replied back saying, yes, you nailed the song. He doesn't talk much, but that one line, I've been drooling over it. Every time I feel a little down, I'm like, no, Sir said I nailed the song. It's cool. Everything's fine. All problems are going to go away.
Right.
All cool. Most filmmakers I've seen, especially these days, I feel like they don't get very involved in the process of music being made for the movie. It's like they appoint a person, like they appoint a music director the job, and then that's it. They'll probably just go into the studio, listen to the song, it fits the situation, cool, done. Or not done, whatever. But I've seen Mani sir being so involved, like be it lyric writing, be it the tunes, when sir was composing the tunes, the production, be it who's singing the songs, does it fit the scenario, does it fit the person who's going to be on screen. Sir was so involved, and he spent nights after nights in the studio with the Rahman sir. So that is one thing which is so inspiring. I mean, him being him, he can just easily appoint somebody else to do the job, but he chose to be there. He chose to monitor everything himself. I think which is why he is who he is. I was 12, and then a huge deal happened. Usually, teenage boys go through a voice change period. Their voice breaks.
Yeah.
Right? Females don't face that. But unfortunately, I did go through that. I couldn't sing for about a span of 1.5, 2 years. I couldn't sing at all. I couldn't speak. I almost didn't have a voice.
Okay.
I was very frustrated because all I had done my entire life was go to school and sing. That's all. Now I just couldn't sing. There's a song playing on the radio and I couldn't hum along. So it was quite frustrating. So around that time, I was called by an eminent music director of Calcutta. And I went, I sang the song. After I came out of the studio, he told me, listen, don't try to sing. Singing is not your cup of tea. You're not going to make it. And you don't have a sweet voice. So people who don't have sweet tones don't deserve to become singers. So I came back home, I'm crying, I'm bawling my eyes out. And that's when my mom made me sit down. She's like, see, this is one of the first times that you faced something like this. And it's going to happen more. There's going to happen a lot more in the future. So you can't just, sit back and say, acha, ab to kuch nahi hone wala, mera life khatam ho gaya. So if someone said something adverse to you, take it up as a challenge, work on it, come back, hit back harder. Now he's told you can't become a musician, ab to musician hi ban ke dikhao. So that day I was like, nahi, I don't know what I'm going to do. I am going to work super hard. I'm going to find a solution to what's happening to my voice, but I'm going to become a musician. I have to become a musician. So that was sort of like a huge kickstart for me. Around that time, I think I was 14 when I got the opportunity to go to KM Music Conservatory, which is Rahman sir's academy in Chennai. And that's where some of the faculty members, they helped me so much, figure out what was wrong with my voice. And after I came back from Chennai, I remember sitting down with my mom one evening and only singing for hours and being like, Mama, my voice is back. We found a solution. So huge thanks to KM. They solved what was going wrong. And that was actually the first time I met Sir also. KM has an annual function. They don't usually let preparatory students perform. I was a preparatory student, but they made an exception with me. And I performed this really fun piece where I clubbed off a Western classical opera piece with Hindustani classical. And I performed it. It was a part of a play. And as soon as I finished, I remember the entire audience standing up and clapping for me. After the show, there was a little party going on. And I was waiting on the stairs for Sir to come out. Sir came out and he's like, hey, Calcutta girl, right? I'm like, oh my God, she remembers. Then he appreciated me and then he asked me, how long are you here for? And like a complete dum-dum, I said, Sir, I'm leaving tomorrow. I should have possibly just said, Sir, I'm going to stay back if you need me to. But I said, I'm leaving tomorrow. So I said, okay, sad. No worries. So I clicked pictures, Sir left. Then I went happily to my mom. I said, hey, Mama, I got a picture. And my mom's like, what did he ask? I told her this is what happened. And my mom's like, what did you just do? We repented that day for the longest time until 2019 when I was a part of a show called Arrived. It was a YouTube reality show. And Sir was the main judge of the show. Before the finale happened, I got a call from the studio. I remember right before the finale, I was actually back in Pune. I had my exams going on, so I was sort of rushing to college, trying to make it in time. And that's when I get a call from Chennai saying, Antara, you have to take a 2 p.m. flight. I'm sending you the tickets. So you have to come to the studio. I'm like, what? No. What? And then I was told, Sir wants to do a song with you. it was just way too much information for me to process. Also, I was completely panicking. Why am I always panicking? Anyway, I was completely panicking. I was trying to make it to my exam hall, and that's when I got this call. And I was like, where do I go? Exam or sir? I called up my mom, and then mom was like, that's not a question. Exams aate rahenge. You leave the exam, go, take the flight. And I don't regret it. I took that flight, went to Chennai, and that's when I got to do the first song that I ever did with Sir. It's called Nis Din. It was for a show called Jammy. And that started off my association with Sir. Soon after that, I got to collaborate on two other projects with Sir. One was the Ganga anthem for Apollo Tires, and one was the Pani anthem for CNN and Harpic India. So these things started happening. And like I said, the biggest milestones of my life, Sir was there. After that, like I said, I've been singing scratches for Sir for the past 2.5 years. But wo under you have that, no? Who knows? One day, I just hope one scratch gets finalized, and then you sit with all these other musician friends of yours, and you hear stories like, so and so person, uska ye scratch final ho gaya, and then it came in a movie, and life ban gaya and stuff like that. So you hear all that, and you start dreaming, ki, I wish that someday happens to me too. From there to being able to stand on stage as one of the lead singers with Sir, I've been very fortunate to perform live with him. It's nothing we ever expected or dreamt of.